Ay, qué desastre de persona soy, macho. Ya está. Ay, qué desastre de persona soy, macho. ¿Qué pasó? Que soy un desastre, macho.
Joining me on the stage to talk about it.
¿Qué han
The game
enseñado?
director at Coffee Stain Studios, it's Oscar Gilsayan.
Vamos, me he perdido un minuto, no me puede perder nada, pero...
Come here, Oscar. Welcome to the stage. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, Oscar, I just want to begin right away by asking, what is Satisfactory all about?
Si se me ve, ¿cómo no se me va a ver?
It's essentially about building these huge automated factories. So you play as an engineer that's been sent from Earth to this alien planet, and you're going to build this enormous machine. We'll hinted at the end of the trailer there.
Yeah.
And to build that, you need a whole ton of parts, which you need to build machines that will make them for you. So you'll start out pretty
Se me ve de
simple,
puta madre.
with a few machines,
Yeah.
and then you'll just expand until you finally need to start cutting down trees and replace them with like more convenient concrete.
And you know, for people who haven't played this type of game, can you give me an example of what producing a more advanced resource might look like?
Right. After a while, you'll need to create something more advanced, like a.
Querías quitar el height, dice, joder, macho.
And at that point, you'll have some.
Pues es que he acercado un poco el ordenador para que se me dé más la luz.
Plastic, you need to get some oil. So you need to go out and you need to find this oil.
Yeah.
Build
va
some
Reggie,
oil pumps, and oil refineries, and set up a transport with self-driving vehicles between the outpost and your factory.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that scale because there's a lot of games where you build a house or a small town. How much area are we talking about where all your factories will exist?
Oh, this factory will grow enormous. The main part, which will probably be the biggest, will start spreading more and more and more. Or in some cases, we'll have players just building these massive, tall buildings with factory floor upon factory floor. But including the resources that you need to gather from basically all around the map.
Yeah.
So you'll have vehicles driving all over.
No me estoy enterando de nada de este
Now, I
juego.
want to ask about the first-person perspective because these types of games typically are top-down. Why first-person?
We wanted it to feel like the player's the one building the stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, when you've built a bunch of stuff, you can see these enormous buildings, structures towering.
Voy a abrirlo de Uplay para que se siga descargando el foro, ¿no?
You'll be the one, like, you go through the underbrush and in the jungles and whatever.
I mean, in the trailer, it even looked like there's a lot more to explore, like different environments and biomes.
Yeah. The map is, we made a point to make it big and varied.
Yeah.
And it's about 30 square kilometers in size, so it's kind of enormous.
Wow. And, one final question. I saw multiple engineers there. How does multiplayer work?
Oh, it's a co-op game. So you'll start up a server and play with your friends.
Great. Now, tell us, how do we get our hands on this game?
So we got a closed alpha planned in the coming months. So you can sign up for the alpha at satisfactorygame.com. And yeah, then you'll know.
Well, great. Oscar, thanks for joining me on stage once again. That is satisfactorygame.com. Now, up in the balcony, Frankie, I understand you have our very first indie title of the day.
We do indeed, Sean, because here's something we love about the PC platform. It's such fertile ground for creative ideas from small teams. NeoCab is an emotional survival game set in the future about gig labor, tech disruption, and the experience of being a driver for hire. Perhaps the last of your kind. From the brand new indie studio Chance Agency, let's watch the first gameplay trailer for NeoCab.
A ver, gameplay trailer de NeoCab. ¿Qué eres? ¿Un taxista? ¿Un Cabify? ¿O qué eres?
Hola Envy, muchas gracias por recomendarme Digimon Story y Cyber Sluth se convirtió en uno de mis juegos favoritos.
¡Qué grande! Muchas gracias a ti, Gandhi20, tío, por esos pedazos de 100 bits. Muchas gracias. ¿Te quedas con nosotros a ver el E3 o qué? Neocab. Que eres un Cabify, ¿no? Un Uber. Simulador de Uber.
Believe it or not, is in the Battle Royale genre. Of course, it's E3 2018, what do you expect? We have several Battle Royale games we're going to be talking about today because the Battle Royale format is very simple and very flexible. Players play in an ever-shrinking space until there's one last standing. So developers have already been doing all kinds of different explorations of what this could possibly be. And our very first Battle Royale game that we'll be introducing today has up to 1,000 concurrent players. It's from Automaton Games. Let's look at Maverick's Proving Grounds.
Wow. ¿Tiene auto apuntado o qué? Ha sido gameplay falso, ¿no? Si tenía auto apuntado. Battle Royale Next Generación. No, tiene buena pinta, tiene buena pinta. Mavericks. Pero tenía como auto apuntado. Apúntate a la beta cerrada. ¿Era un CGI? Yo pensé que era gameplay, de verdad.
James, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Sí, era un engine.
Now, I want to immediately ask, what about Maverick's Proving Grounds distinguishes itself from other Battle Royale games?
Yeah, well, as you said, it's a very popular formula, and you know that last man standing kind of game type is incredibly compelling by itself. But
Qué
it's
joven.
really about depth. You know, we've already talked about 400 players before, and we're sort of super excited today to talk about our 5-man squad mode being 1,000 players. But really, it's about depth as well. It's about the fact that that environment is even a bigger step, the simulation and those elements sort of combining together.
Yeah, I want to zoom in right on the 1,000 players aspect. How does that really shift the dynamic from the, say, 100 that we're typically used to?
Well, it's really about combining scale with the depth of simulation, so the fact that together what you actually have is a landscape that means you're making decisions off a lot more information.
Yeah, I mean, because you hinted at that twice now. Like, what do you mean by there's a lot more information in the environment for players to process?
So take a concrete example, right? So let's say a player's walking through the map. They'll be leaving footprints. They'll be displacing foliage, like grass bending. But you know, siege-style gameplay in houses, that's like a lot of destruction systems that sort of together make the map much more of a dynamic environment.
It's like a recent history of who could have been here.
Yeah.
You know, I want to ask about what more is in store for Maverick's Proving Grounds. I understand that this has a lot more out-game features than someone might expect.
Yeah, so it's not just that session-based gameplay. You enter the game through the capital, which is our sort of persistent social hub. So we draw from the MMORPG side of things. It's really it's a full world, not just a map. You know, so it's got a persistent game type side to it too.
Yeah.
But really it's about bringing this all together into something which makes a much richer MMO experience.
Now, where can people go?
Se ha activado el sensor de almacenamiento,
Well,
dice.
we've just launched our site right now, so if you're interested in signing up for the closed beta, you can do that now at mavericks.gg/closed-beta. And actually, if you register this week, you'll get special in-game content for free from E3.
Well, awesome.
And we have only 100,000 slots for the first group signing up, so
Right on.
that will give you some beta access, but
Cool.
I'm sure there are a lot more people than that on the stream, so quickly do that if you're interested in.
Well, James, thanks so much for joining us. Once again, that's maverick.gg. Our very next game helps showcase the
Esta va a ser la conferencia de los Battle Royale. Puede ser porque en el resto no han enseñado ninguno. Yo estoy sorprendido de que hayan enseñado tan pocos. Yo pensé que enseñarían muchísimos. Me alegro de que no. Pero pensaba que anunciarían muchos más.
It's a standalone game that's a reimagining of a wildly successful mod. In fact, the first mod in history.
Sí, este es el PC Gaming, Gerríos, ¿qué tal?
For the first time ever. Here's
Digimon Battle Royale. ¿Qué Windows tengo? El 10 por... Exclusivo. World Exclusive. Falta el de Microsoft ahí.
I'm so sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place. An ancient underground city. Its existence long forgotten. Searching for a way out. All I found is a window into the past. If even one person here commits a sin, everyone will die. I tried to set things right, but whatever I did...
Un mod de gente que se convierte en oro, tú.
It's all up to you now. Go back, investigate, talk to everyone, help them out if it'll win their trust. Bend the rules as far as you can. Figure out who's responsible for this. And maybe you can do what I never could. Save these people. Save yourself.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Coming up on the PC Gaming Show, what's next for Killing Floor 2? And an unannounced game from Tripwire Interactive. And now your host, Sean Plott.
Our next game is a blast from the past. It's not a sequel or prequel or remake, but rather an
Puede estar bien, yo qué sé. El Killing Floor 2, ese no me llama nada.
Stardock's Star Control Origins.
Long ago, the Singularity formed, its creators uplifted into something beyond our understanding. These beings, now known as the Lexites, left Earth, traveling to multiple planets in our solar system, before vanishing altogether. This is why we are here. Welcome to Star Control, a state-of-the-art international space agency tasked with the exploration of our solar system and the defense of Earth. Here resides the world's brightest minds and greatest technology, brought together by a strong curiosity to discover the unknown. Help us pioneer the future. Join today.
Star Control has accelerated the construction of our new modular deep solar system vessel specifically for this mission. It's the fastest, most expensive ship humanity has ever made, Captain.
I am Chief Viscosity Officer Windu of the Taiwan. The Scribe had evidently received traces of your radio broadcasts themselves.
Juego de naves y de exploración, ¿no? Rollo No Man's Sky.
A new alien in a delightful new spaceship.
You must be humans. We've heard so much about you.
Rollo No Man's Sky o Starbound. No sé si conocéis Starbound. Igual, pero sin bajarte de la nave. Parece. Sí, estos juegos así pueden ser la polla, tío. Si os molan a vosotros los juegos así, te puedes perder.
Thanks for joining me on stage today, Patrick.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
So now just tell us straight up, what is Star Control all about?
So Star Control is an open universe action RPG. You can visit dozens of aliens, hundreds of different
Podría ser un No Man's Sky bien hecho.
and you can land on each and every one of them. And when you're driving
Que por lo visto ahora es la polla el No Man's Sky. Está genial.
And then you can venture out into the solar system and do ship-to-ship combat with hostile aliens.
And I want to ask, since I know that the story is a big part of this game, with it being open world, how do you make sure that the story still stays as the focus for the player?
Yeah, so we're really excited about the story that we prepared for Star Control. It's funny, it's creative, but also has some dark, sinister side to it. However, what we're very proud and very excited about is we have an infinite universe. That is, we are fully simulating the entire universe at all times. So even if you're on some podunk little moon in the corner of the universe, the aliens are still moving around the universe, doing their own thing, exploring and interacting with each other.
So it's not just like at a planet there's the same town whenever you visit it. It depends on how the simulation has driven it forward.
Right, exactly. So this infinite universe is the glue that connects my story, my adventure, to the larger open galaxy.
That's awesome. Now, I know modding is going to be a big part of Star Control Origins. How does the modding work?
So what's your favorite science fiction show?
Probably Firefly.
Yeah, so what would you think of making Firefly Season 2?
Shit, that's a lot of pressure, Patrick.
Well,
you're putting me on the spot on stage right now, yeah.
We have a week to do it, so. But anyways, in Star Control Origins, you can create your own ships, your own planets, your own galaxies. You can package up your adventures and share them with your friends online.
So someone else can take care of Firefly Season 2.
Puedes crear tus naves, tus planetas, tus universos, puedes crear aventuras, por así decirlo, y compartirlas online. ¿Ves? Tiene como un creador. Me ha parecido entender.
Build them out of different pieces and parts, you attach different weapons and defenses, and then you go online to play them. You can either play
y esto es como un modo versus, ¿no? Un modo batalla, arena. Hasta los presentadores tienen pinta de sosos. ¿Parece soso? A mí este tipo me cae muy bien, porque normalmente los presentadores que ponen en las conferencias parecen presentadores que no juegan a videojuegos, parecen presentadores que te quieren vender algo. Pero este hombre, el del PC Gaming, ya lo han puesto varios años a él y a mí no me da la sensación de que me quiera vender nada. Al revés, me da la sensación de que es un tío que juega y que más o menos algo sabe de videojuegos. No está muy bajita la conferencia, la tengo al máximo de volumen, ¿eh?
Now, our next game was PC Gamer's favorite game from E3 last year. It is Hunt Showdown from Crytek. Let's take a look at what's coming for Hunt Showdown just after E3.
¿Cómo se llamaba el juego? El del hombrecito este de las naves. Ay. No me hagas esto, Black, que yo para los nombres soy malísimo. Oh, este juego lo he visto yo en Twitch. Es un Battle Royale, pero aparte tienes como unos monstruos que tienes que ir matando. Creo que la partida la gana el que mata al boss. Un Battle Royale con un boss, creo que es. El Hunt Showdown. He visto algún stream de este juego.
Here with Guy from Skydance, who's here to tell me why fighting in massive mech suits is not about to go out of fashion anytime soon. Guy, now Hellfire, in fact, sorry, Archangel was originally a single-player narrative game, but Hellfire, this new edition, what changes exactly?
Sí, eso sí, el barbudo de la minimoto de Ubisoft era más divertido. Eso no lo puedo discutir. Qué personaje. Se nos ha matado Paco.
And we kind of thought that's a completely different game, but let's give it a shot. And so we got a crack team together.
Es complicado, si mueres pierdes tus cosas. Sí, o al personaje o algo de eso he visto, ¿no?
Tons of weapons where you could just blast through the environment and other mechs alike, and it's really just an amazing experience.
Del martillo de Thor, ¿no?
You can tower over others It's just something special that I think you can try right now.
Is this coming out of early access? So you just said we can try it right now, but you've got the full version launching soon, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's coming out in July 17th. But you can try it right now if you want in early access. Help us iron out the kinks and break some mechs along the process.
I am no good at ironing out kinks, as I think people at home can see, Guy. But as a heavy mech woman, I can't wait for you to be my light mech wingman in that 2v2 PvP. So let's take a closer look at Archangel Hellfire.
Es un pistón, no es el martillo de Thor la camiseta. LOL. Como he visto el mazo y el rayo. Y esto un deathmatch de mechas. Archangel
Our next title is
Hellfire.
one I've been looking forward to for quite some time. It's from the makers of Sherlock Holmes, and it's a delightful-looking Lovecraftian mystery. It's called The Sinking City, and joining me to talk about it is the community manager at Frogwares, Sergey Oganessian. Welcome, Sergey. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've earned a handshake.
Yeah, you
Welcome
nailed that
to the stage.
pronunciation.
I love that you lie to me so kindly. You know, I want to ask right away, The Sinking City, you know, there's a lot of open world third-person type games. What makes The Sinking City different from what a player might expect?
Well, I mean, The Sinking City is an open-world action investigation game inspired by Lovecraft. And we believe that these three elements already make the game pretty unique. And you know, when I say that you can be a detective in a world, in a supernatural world full of mystery and, you know, cosmic fear, like, I really mean it, because investigations are really at the core of The Sinking City.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of games in the open world genre that are focused on action, but you say investigation is at the core. What are investigation mechanics? What does it look like?
So the first thing you should know right off the bat is that we are not going to offer any hand-holding for the player. We will not give you any clear objectives in your diary or, you know, markers on the map telling you where to go or what to do. It's actually up to you to figure that out. Instead, we will give you information, you know, hints, evidence, like clues, crime scenes to examine, like people to talk to, suspects to question. And we will ask you in return to use your wits and your intuition to, you know, experiment with your findings, you know, maybe like find a way how to progress. And what you should also know is that finding these clues will not only help you understand what's going on and, you know, get a better understanding of the world and its people, but it will also help you maybe change the course of your investigation.
You know, you mentioned the world itself. I mean, the footage that I've seen through the years has just been absolutely beautiful. Talk to me about the world that we're in and what investigation is at the core.
So the game takes place in this fictional city of Oakmont in the state of Massachusetts. You know, the city which is flooded. There is a terrible disaster going on which has claimed like thousands of lives. And also, like, it seems like it awakened frightening monsters which now roam the streets of Oakmont. You know, people...
Dice que es un mundo abierto, muy Lovecraft. A mí me recuerda al Devil Within mucho, a vosotros, ¿no?
Cultists, poor people, rich people, but they are all united by fear.
Devil Within versión indie. Que el Devil Within me gustó mucho, macho.
You know, for their lives, because of the flood, because of the monsters. And you know, we actually want to understand what's going on. We want to understand what lies behind this ostensibly supernatural
El buen castellanos.
flood. And what's even funny is that while everybody is afraid, nobody wants to leave. But this is kind of a different story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked a little bit about the story world and how it's inspired by Lovecraft. What about the game mechanics? You've mentioned the sanity mechanic in the past.
Indeed, we do have a sanity mechanic which directly impacts gameplay. You know, when our hero is under a lot of stress, when he sees like something supernatural, something disturbing, or even when he's making a choice in the story which he's uncomfortable with making,
La interfaz también,
you know,
sí.
he will begin to lose his sanity. He's like,
Me quedé con ganas de que subieras el 2. Al final no lo jugué, tío, es verdad.
Al
final me puse con los DLCs, me rayé, se me jodió, perdí los directos resubidos, los perdí. Y al final ni lo subí a YouTube, ni jugué el 2.
What are the sweet monsters that we're going to get to see in the game?
Oh, we have different kinds of monsters. We have different kinds of
Que tampoco era aquí la hostia, ¿sabes? Pero me gustó, me gustó. Estuvo bien. Yo que no soy muy fan de los juegos de miedo, estuvo guay.
So we give you weapons, we give you skills, we give you even certain like traps. In return, we ask you that you make a decision.
También te quedaste con las ganas de Avilón, ya lo sé yo. Si me lo ha preguntado bastante gente por ese juego. Bastante de verdad. Muy mal, ya tío, ya lo sé. Es que no se puede recuperar.
So if you're hungry for more, you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. This is where we post our updates regularly. Facebook, The Sinking City Game, YouTube, Frogwares. So go there, and this is definitely the place to go if you want to learn more.
Me dolió, macho, me dolió perder esos vídeos, esos directos.
The Sinking City.
Buenas, Levi Kawaii.
Now, our next game is a PC title that has only gotten better over the last few years, and I'm always excited to hear what they have in store. Frankie is up on the balcony with the developers of Warframe. Talk to me, Frankie.
Well, we all know the PC is home to some of the most devoted communities in gaming, and one of the best undoubtedly belongs to Warframe. Last year, the game got its first open-world update, Plains of Eidolon, and the next epic cinematic quest is called The Sacrifice. And we've got the exclusive launch trailer for you.
Ah, eres Asuna, que te has cambiado el nombre. Hola Asuna, ¿qué tal? Tanto tiempo sin verte. Ah, el Warframe, ya decía yo que me sonaba.
Megan Everett, community manager at Digital Extremes.
Un compañero mío de la productora dice que es un viciado al Warframe que vamos. Que se ha quemado todo el contenido.
It continues a story that we started in the Second Dream, continued with the War Within, and then Apostasy Prologue. So at the end of last year, we kind of shattered some hearts and left them with a bit of a plot twist.
El
And
buen
I'm not going to
Warframe.
spoil it for people who want to maybe catch up. But what I can say is that obviously from the
Bien,
trailer
yo
that
todo
you
bien.
saw, the wait for Umbra, the 3-year wait, the Umbra
Pues aquí
Warframe is
viendo el
finally
PC
over.
gaming.
The creepy guy
Para no
at the
perder
end
las
of the
buenas
trailer there,
costumbres.
Ballas, plays a pretty big role in this quest. And again, not going to spoil a lot, but I can say that it's coming this week on PC.
And you guys are actually currently waiting, well, as well as the update, you're working towards TennoCon right now.
Yes, so it's going to be another big year for us, and I'm really excited for it.
Well, let's take a look at last year's event to get an idea of what TennoCon is all about.
Joder, la de la derecha era guapísima, ¿no?
The mega reveal at Tenno Live is going to be.
Can you tell me anything about this Umbra thing that's maybe going on or whatever?
Es muy típica esa, muy, no sé, pero... Por lo visto me han dicho que las raids de este juego son súper épicas, tío. Que es un Destiny bien. Un Destiny bien hecho y gratis.
Given that the community knows you as Auntie Megan, oh God, it must be huge for you to be at TennoCon.
TennoCon is really special for really everyone that works at Digital Extremes. The developers pour their heart and soul into what we do for TennoCon, and I know for me it was literally like the best day of my
Todo el mundo me dice lo mismo, que lo jugaba con amigos siempre y cuando ellos lo dejaron, pues también. Pero por lo visto el hombre este tenía... Le llamo hombre porque tiene 35 años. Juanma se llama. Pues tiene un clan y estaban ahí en plan en el top, ¿sabes? Que se lo tomaban súper en serio.
And we actually, like, as people were cheering, it's pitch black on stage. Reb and I look at each other and we just kind of fist pump and both started crying because we didn't crash the demonstration. So if you watch Tenno Live this year, if you're there, you can definitely probably count on some tears and some emotions because it's a really big day for us.
So basically, bring tissues, right?
Las raids las quitaron, pero ahora hay caza de
For
idolones.
everyone involved because there will be some tears probably.
Tienes que jugarlo, es un destrozavidas. Por eso no lo juego, porque no quiero destrozármelo.
How can you watch it online?
Porque las raids solo las hacían los pros. Está bastante guapo. Sí, yo la verdad que siempre lo he visto y me ha traído, tío. Pero nunca he querido meterme porque veo que es eso, que es un atrapavidas, ¿sabes?
You do. So if you want to link your Warframe account to your Twitch account, and all you have to do is watch and you get some free stuff.
Fantastic. So that's happening from July 7th, and you'll be able to watch.
No sé qué ha dicho que pasa si linkeas la cuenta del Warframe con la cuenta de Twitch.
Thank you, Auntie Megs. Sean, it's over to you.
Thank you, Frankie, and thank you, Warframe. The next name is one I grew up with, Sega. They've become a prolific publisher of Japanese games known for their fully featured ports, especially beloved by this guy on the left. Sega's bringing shining resonance both to PC and console the same day, and Shenmue is going to be coming later this year. They have all sorts of games coming up. Let's take a look at what Sega's got in store.
No creo yo que le quiten. Lo ha hecho muy bien esa gente, macho. Se lo han currado, que no lo parezca, los de Fortnite, ¿eh? Todo lo mal que lo hicieron con el Paragon, que era un desastre eso. Con el maldito Fortnite, mira que me duele reconocerlo, pero es que lo han hecho... No lo podían haber hecho mejor, yo creo. Lo cual me jode. No veas cómo me jode, tú. Y ahora viene un bloque de juegos japoneses, ¿no? Algo así ha mencionado el hombre. Mira, el Yakuza, ¿no? Hola, en YouTube están poniendo strikes si emites este directo. Ah. Pues vente aquí a Twitch, hombre, amigo. Aquí te acogemos, te hacemos un hueco, ponte cómodo. El Valkyria. Supongo que si lo juego lo entenderé, pero nunca entendí por qué este juego se llama Valkyria Chronicle. Las crónicas de la Valkyria. Las Valkyrias son las mitológicas, estas vikingas. ¿Os acordáis, no? Del God of War. Y los Yakuza tienen que ser la leche, tío. Yo los quiero jugar, si no fuesen tantos machos. Mira, a lo mejor de Sega en PC. Y el Yakuza 0 disponible para reservar ya.
Yakuza 0 is available for pre-order right now and will be releasing on Steam in early August. We hope you've been enjoying the show thus far. We have so much more great stuff to come. Let's see what's coming up at this year's PC Gaming Show.
Coming up on the PC Gaming Show, a new publisher reveals 3 new games, and the first ever gameplay footage of Overkill's The Walking Dead. And now your host, Sean Plott.
And I'm back. Our next guest is a regular here at the PC Gaming Show, having attended all 4 years. Frankie's with him up in the balcony. It's Tripwire.
Sean, if you are anything like me, you probably need to let off steam every once in a while. And I personally can't think of a better way to do it than by kicking back and tearing up a load of monstrous enemies. It's kind of either that or pushing the office photocopier out of the window, and I, for one, prefer the option that keeps me and everyone here in a job. With that in mind,
¿Cuánto dura? No sé qué decirte, la verdad.
Bill Monk from Killing Floor 2 back to E3.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Paragon era muy buen juego, me gustaba más que el Fortnite. Pero es que los MOBAs yo creo que ya van para abajo, ¿sabes? No es que estén muriendo porque el MOBA ya se va a quedar para siempre, yo creo. Pero ya el MOBA no va para arriba como antes. El MOBA ya lo juega la misma gente o menos. Antes siempre era más. Pero desde que salió el Battle Royale, el MOBA o se ha quedado ahí o está yendo para abajo. Mucha gente que se ha pasado de MOBAs, del LoL, del Dota, del Overwatch. El Overwatch, por lo visto, un montón de gente se ha ido al Fortnite. Un montón. Y pues el Paragon es que era un MOBA. Para mí muy bueno, me gustaba un montón. Lo que pasa es que ese juego llegó muy tarde, tío. Muy tarde. Y pues bueno, pasó lo que pasó. Que no es momento de recordarlo, ¿no? No le fue muy bien. Killing Floor no es un MOBA. No, pero yo no estoy hablando del Killing Floor. Estoy hablando de lo de antes. Del Paragon, no del Killing Floor, cabrón. La de Solia a las 3, sí. Y esta conferencia no sé a qué hora acaba. Vamos a ver qué es esto. Tripwire. Ah, este es el Killing Floor 2, claro. ¿Alguno jugáis al 1? ¿O al 2? Es que creo que el 2 ya salió. Yo creía que ya había salido, no lo sé. Son los zombies del Call of Duty, bien. Y gratis, creo. No, gratis no. Guns of Icarus. ¿No es el Killing Floor este? El 2 lo regalaban con el Plus. Ah, por eso. De ahí la confusión. Dios, me está poniendo muy nervioso el que habla,
Even removing the head won't put these rebellious robots down. But take heart, lads and lasses. I have invented some new toys. The Doomstick. 4 barrels are better than 2. The Static Strikers. A shockingly stylish set of gauntlets. And the M99 Sniper Rifle. And finally, there's a last-minute addition to the crew.
Watch this woman go!
Seems Mrs. Foster negotiated her way on board and is set on giving Zed
like the angry.
The business! And remember, we'll see you on the airship!
Fossey, joke for you. Optician says my eyes are okay. I say, then how do you explain my husband?
A mí no me va mucho lo de las oleadas de zombies.
The content that you just saw will be available tomorrow, including a free weekend for PC this weekend.
Mierda, me quedé dormido. A mí ya me está pesando el sueño,
I have the president of Tripwire himself, John Gibson, on stage. John, welcome back again.
Thanks, Sean. Pleasure to be here.
Now, I understand that Tripwire is stepping into also doing publishing. What does that entail?
That's right. So, Sean, it's really challenging for developers right now with the thousands of games that are coming out every year.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get noticed.
Descargarse.
And then you have the traditional publishing deals. So we're giving developers
este juego me mola un montón, tío.
We're going to be helping them rise above that noise so they can get noticed. And
este tiene que ser como el trial fusion. Tienes que pillarte unos cabreos.
We're going to help them with marketing, funding,
aguanta.
feedback to help them succeed.
Yeah, I mean, the game that we have on screen is one of those.
Pero ya me pesan los párpados, macho.
That is right. I'm happy to announce
me duele la cabeza, tío. Yo no sé si es de los cascos, eso es o de qué, pero me hubiera por una pastilla, un ibuprofeno o algo.
But also bring the franchise beyond Steam.
Now, I know today you have a world-exclusive new game, hasn't been announced yet.
We do. Nobody knows.
Before we roll the trailer, I wonder if you can give me a little bit of a tease.
Yeah, so we're working with the team at Blindside Games, and they're led by Alex Quick.
Oh, yeah, right.
So if you're familiar with the Killing Floor universe, you know Alex Quick was the modder that created the original Killing Floor mod, which Tripwire worked with Alex to bring commercial. And then Alex went off, assembled his own team, made the game Depth, which was sharks and humans fighting each other, very, very successful. And now it's come full circle. We're working with Alex again, and we're going to bring his all-new game to market.
Well, let's take a look at it right now. World-exclusive new upcoming game from Tripwire.
Yo creo que me voy a quedar un rato un poco AFK, ¿vale? Callado. Así apoyado un poco.
Close your eyes and imagine a place where the sun is bright and the beaches are white. A place filled with southern charm, where the water is as warm as the
Ibuprofenos con sueño, mala combinación, ¿por qué?
Come feel the wind in your sails. Kick back and relax. Enjoy the local cuisine. Your dream vacation is waiting for you here on the Gulf Coast. Go to maneatergame.com now to book your vacation. Operators are standing by.
Oye, pues mola el simulador de tiburones.
So hey John, so you get to play as the shark.
You are the shark.
El ibuprofeno da más sueño. Bueno, pero si me quita el dolor de cabeza me da igual.
Or as we like to call it, a shark PG.
Oh, nice. Okay, so do you like upgrade and improve the shark? Is there like skill trees?
You do. There is a shark skill tree. Really?
¿En serio que es un RPG de tiburones?
Full single player campaign. You eat your way through it. You get bigger teeth. You can jump out of the water and snatch people off piers and all of that fun stuff.
I didn't realize this was a power fantasy I needed so badly.
Un RPG de Tiburón Simulator, tío, me
more
mea.
information about it.
They can go to maneatergame.com.
All right, I doubt anyone will forget that here. That's maneatergame.com. John, thanks so much for joining me on stage. And once again, all the content that Tripwire.
Que me dijéis en paz, coño, que no me estoy quedando dormido, pesados. Estoy a gusto.
Playable here at E3. Definitely be sure to check it out. Coming up next, Frankie has a whole slew of unannounced games. Frankie.
Cheers, Sean. Man-eater looking tasty there, and I can't believe they named a game after my favourite weekend activity. Indies are at the heart of PC gaming, and next up is a brand new publisher revealing 3 games for the very first time, releasing one of them, Behave Yourselves audience, today. So let's take a look.
Lo que esta gente habla en inglés más complicado. Normalmente en inglés que hablan lo entiendo, pero a estos me cuesta más, los del PC Gaming. No es inglés para noobs como yo. Es inglés para pros. El hombre se ha sacado el Kojima que lleva dentro, sí. Un RPG de tiburones. Fumó la misma droga que Kojima. Me parto. Ok. Un RPG de turnos online. Multiplayer. Con gráficos de la Super NES. Estoy muy hater hoy, ¿Cómo me he puesto con el de Division, tú? Madre mía. Todavía me acuerdo. Cabrones. Así me gusta, en mí me enorgulleces, porque estoy muy hater. ¿No has estado jugando el de Division? Madre mía, cómo les he puesto, tú. Es que son imbéciles. Ayer enseñaron un gameplay y hoy han enseñado un tráiler que se veía mucho mejor que el gameplay de ayer. Si ya enseñaste ayer que se veía peor. Es downgrade programado, ¿sabes? No sé. Y luego salía el tío así, vestido. He inventado la rueda. Se llama The Division 2. ¡Oh, oh, oh, oh! Y el de Nintendo mañana. A las 6 de la tarde, hora España. Pues otro indie.
All these games look like must-plays. And Overwhelm, the final game of the bunch, is available on Steam right now with a special launch discount. So make sure you check that out after the show. And if you're at E3 this week, head over to the PC Gamer corner of the Facebook booth inside the South Hall to give Overwhelm a try. Right, next up, it's time for us all to take a holiday, and where better than a virtual resort with some truly spectacular wildlife. Back again this year, our friends of the show, Frontier Developments, with a unique take on the park management genre. I am, of course, talking about Jurassic World Evolution.
Oh, Jurassic World.
Out tomorrow and lets you build your own dinosaur-stuffed tourist trap. What could possibly go wrong? Unleash the Goldblum!
Ah, es verdad, que van a hacer como el Theme Park World. Lo jugasteis, el de construir tu parque de atracciones, pero de Jurassic Park, tú. Eso puede estar muy guay también. ¿Y habéis visto el de móviles? Que es como el Pokémon Go, pero de South Park también. Digo, de Jurassic Park. Ya no sé ni lo que digo, macho. Pues eso, hay un Pokémon Go de Jurassic World. Y ahora van a hacer este, que es como el Theme Park, pero de Jurassic World.
Because if there's anything that chaos theory has taught us, it's that nature is on its own course. And when we interfere, when humanity tries to put nature into orderly boxes, chaos destroys them. And what makes us such...
Ya, hay un de South Park para móviles, también los tengo. El de Pokémon, el de Jurassic World y el de South Park, los tengo todos. Jugar, no juego normalmente a ninguno. Los he probado, están chulos.
I know, however, what I would predict.
Yo cada vez que oigo esta canción ya solo puedo acordarme del tráiler de No Man's Sky con la flauta. Qué bueno es ese vídeo, macho. ¿Sabéis cuál digo, no? Es mítico. El de No Man's Sky con la canción de Jurassic Park. Es buenísimo ese vídeo. Con la flauta no, con la armónica. Oye, no oigo. Ah, vale. Se me había jodido el audio, digo, ¿qué ha pasado? A ver, nuevo juego de Insomniac. Pues está interesante, ¿no? Lo que no sé si estoy viendo una CGI o es gameplay. Ahora sí. ¿Por qué todos los juegos de trailers tienen autoapuntado, tío? Ah, es para gafas. Joder, puede estar muy bien este juego, ¿eh? Qué putada que yo no tengo eso. Para la Play VR no sirve. ¿Me habéis sacado un clip cantando, cabrones? Sí, eso es verdad, se parecía un montón a Wally, el personaje, el prota. Pero me ha gustado, macho. Lo malo que para la PlayStation VR eso no... nada. Para el Oculus.
Hey, Chad, welcome to the stage. Thank you. I want to start right away and ask, what is this game all about?
Well, in Stormland, you
las mías aquí las
play as
tengo.
an android gardener, and an entity called the Tempest uproots your habitat and shatters your android body. So you've got to travel to a civilization above the Thunderheads to repair yourself and save your friends.
And I want to ask what open world means in VR.
Well, for us, it's about giving the player the ability to explore the world freely with a set of android movement abilities that are designed to give you complete agency.
Yeah, because that's always a huge question I have is how does motion work in any VR title?
Yeah, well, in Stormland, you can do things like fly just above the slipstream.
Mira, tío, mola un montón. A mí me gusta.
You can shoot a laser into the cloud surface.
Encima con las gafas, volando. Tiene que ser la leche, vamos.
Climb up a cliffside, like literally launching yourself.
Te sientes ahí Superman.
Android strength, and then like push off and glide back down using your hands to control your descent.
It's massive freedom of movement, yeah.
That's it. It's this set of mechanics that are designed together to work fluidly, so that movement feels exhilarating.
No juego al Detroit, no lo tengo, macho.
I'm curious why VR.
Vi los primeros minutos, vi que molaba un montón, pero es que ahora mismo no tengo dinero para juegos. En directo, ponerlo de uptime, ¿cuánto llevamos? Pues llevaremos unas 6-7 horas. Lo que pasa es que reiniciamos la transmisión. Lo he visto, que es una pasada. Lo poquito que vi me encantó. Además me mola mucho el tema.
Rearranges everything every single week so that we present the player with new playgrounds of movement and combat and scavenging, and you never know what you're going to discover. So every single island you find has the potential to hide an enemy stronghold or a network of underground caverns or brand new tech to scout.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, I got to ask, where can we go for more information?
Well, you can stay tuned by watching the Facebook and Twitter with at Stormland VR, or you can check us out at insomniac.games.
I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for joining me, Chad. Once again, oculus.com/Stormland for more information. Frankie's up in the balcony with our next absolutely gorgeous-looking indie title.
It really is, Sean, because next up we've got a first look at a new game from publisher Raw Fury, a neo-noir detective drama featuring a Paris cabbie who finds himself drawn into a world of crime. Sacré Ruddy Bleu. Yes, I speak French. I can't wait for this one, so let's take a ride with the trailer.
Ha dicho algo la tía de Sacred. Tu tiempo libre ahí para desconectar. Night Call. Pues lo de Sacred de eso lo he flipado yo, tío. He flipado pepinillos. Y este es sable, ¿no? Sable. Sí. Este decía Rasu ayer que se parece al Cuphead. Luego ya se explicó y le entendí lo que quería decir, pero la perlita la dejó ahí, ¿sabes? Tengo que hatearle un poco. No sé si está por ahí de fondo. Pero sí que tiene en común con el Cuphead que tiene un estilo de dibujo muy peculiar. Muy bonito, mola un montón. Además muy original, porque yo creo que nunca he visto ningún videojuego así. Es que es muy raro el dibujo, pero es bonito, no es feo. A mí me gusta, vamos. Coño, mira, estabas por ahí, estabas durmiendo y te has despertado, ¿o qué? Sí, el dibujo es precioso, tío, mola un montón. Recuerda a los cuentos, ¿verdad? A Rasuo le recuerda al Cuphead, pero bueno, a mí me recuerda a los cuentos. La confianza ya da asco, ya te digo, macho. Buenas, HZ, Nacho. Muy en TV. Yo como nunca veo la MTV, por eso me ha sorprendido tanto, ¿sabes? Cuando lo de... Joder, ¿vosotros os acordáis de lo de Jersey Shore? Yo creo que ha sido la única vez de mi vida que vi la MTV esa. Pero molaría 60 FPS, macho. Que se ve muy bonito igual, pero sería ya... No hace años ya de eso, ya te digo. Pues yo creo que fue la última vez que vi la MTV, cuando estaba esa gente. ¿Qué es lo mejorcito que han anunciado? Recién sintonizo todo. ¿Todo? ¿No has visto nada? Ni la de Square Enix, ni la de Ubisoft, ni nada. Y es que este año, este 3, tío, han anunciado una cantidad de juegos, madre mía. A ver si encuentro una lista o algo. Pues estoy un poco borracho de videojuegos, ¿sabes lo que te digo? Tanto, Dios. De hecho, muchos de los que he visto que me han tenido que gustar, se me han tenido que olvidar, tío, porque es que ha habido tantos. Es imposible acordarse de todo.
Yeah, so that was a new track by Japanese Breakfast.
Oh, yeah, the t-shirt. Yes, of course.
Tiene pinta de corto. El juego y de indie triste, ¿verdad que sí? 300 FPS o nada. Ahí. Ahora la MTV es de pago, ni siquiera es gratis. No joda. Pues para ellos todo. Estás dopado de videojuegos, básicamente. ¿Cuánto dinero en un juego nos vamos a dejar? Pues yo de momento poco, porque no tengo, así que... Cuando tenga, igual sí que me dejo... No da la vida para tanto juego, tía. Más uno. ¿Estás borracho por el alcohol? No, la verdad que no. Videojuego en vena este año. ¿Y mi cabeza? Aquí va. Pegada al cuello. ¿Y la tuya? También, ¿no? Pegada al cuello, me imagino. No, el Mass Effect no. Además, también se parece al Mass Effect. Se parece al Gears también un poco. Pero no. Hay un juego de PC que no es muy conocido, está en Early Access, Y es un juego de PC del espacio, pero que por lo visto pretende ser hiper mega ambicioso. El Star Citizen, ese. No me salía el nombre, pues me recuerda. Incluso lo mismo es este. Te lo dije. ¿Te lo dije o no te lo dije? El pitoniso Envy.
Coming up on the PC Gaming Show, all new gameplay footage of Just Cause 4, a closer look at The Walking Dead, the final season, all new gameplay.
Y la última temporada de Walking Dead.
And now your host, Sean Plott.
As we do each year at the PC Gaming Show, in addition to talking about games, we're also
Pero aún es alfa, ¿es alfa? Yo con el tema de alfa, beta, early access sé lo que es cada cosa, pero bueno, a veces me tengo mis confusiones. Pero bueno, sí, que no ha salido todavía. Pero es una barbaridad ese juego. Lo probé porque te puedes como suscribir a ellos y yo me suscribí y una vez me mandaron, pues no sé qué era, para probarlo. Y lo probé. No me movía al ordenador eso, vamos. A 5 FPS, parecía que estaba jugando un PowerPoint.
It's an incredible gaming display. For instance, it's 4K and 120 Hz refresh. The users can
Yo creo eso, que ese juego nunca lo van a terminar, tío. Es tan grande, tan ambicioso.
You know, I hear a lot about HDR. Can you explain a little more in detail what that is and what that means?
Mira, Nino Kuni.
Quite a bit that goes into it, but
y el Far
for
Cry,
the
¿no?
purpose of this conversation, the fact that there are 384 individual backlit zones, so the backlighting can be individually controlled, really bright, very dark. It makes a better contrast on screen. Each of them are individually controlled. The brightness of the screen is far above a typical display. Typical, you're looking at 300 to 400 nits. We're looking at 600 with the Predator X27 with a max of 1,000 nits.
And you know, some of the titles that were showcased just now, there's a wide variety of some photorealistic, some with a really iconic art style. How does HDR contribute to that big range we see in gaming?
Well, one of the big things that helps is the color gamut that's available with these displays. We're able to do 99% of the Adobe color gamut. So
están hablando del HD render.
the vision of the art director.
Estoy a ver si me entero de lo que es, que no sé lo que es exactamente. Gracias, Wifi. Resumen, somos PC y hacemos esto. Vosotros no podéis verlo. Resumen 10 de 10.
PC gamers tend to have a huge range of possible budgets. What are the different sort of products to look for at those price ranges?
Well, I mean, we cover the gamut from very simple and to the point to high-performance esports products or multi-view, surround, multi-display products. But we also go really crazy sometimes. We put our engineers to the test. What can you do if you have no limit? So one of the projects we've worked on is something called the Predator 21X. This is a 21-inch curved screen laptop with a mechanical keyboard.
Han anunciado juegos buenos. Si no te has visto la conferencia, sí, alguno te has perdido seguro.
We did a really good thing. But you know what? To be serious, not just to joke, we actually have to ship this with a Pelican case to protect the laptop, and it sells for $9,000. And we sold every single unit we could make. So we cover every spectrum of gaming.
You know, you brought up this Predator laptop, you brought up the Predator monitors at the start of this segment. Where can people go to hear more about or even pick one up?
Ojo, el Predator, tú.
So that's the good news is that we're shipping now. Our customers, partners are selling them. The bad news is a few have already sold out of this new Predator X27 monitor.
Ya, a mí también se me hace un poco pesado cuando se ponen tan técnicos. Pero la verdad es que es interesante, tío.
Thank you so much for joining me on stage, Eric. Frankie is awaiting in the balcony with our very next title.
El ritmo de la conferencia pues decae, se va a la verga, por así decirlo, pero joder, son cosas que interesan, ¿sabes? Si quieres ritmo, tienes la de Ubisoft para verla, que en esa ya te digo yo que no te aburres. Joder. Curvo con teclado mecánico y con macros el Predator. Ya te digo. Lo que no han querido decir es el precio para no asustarte.
Greetings, Commander. You have been sent to Quadrant Alpha 1. The mission is to find a new home for the crew on board of this ship. Expand your ship and explore the galaxy for resources and interesting new life forms. Feel free to experiment with DNA and alien abilities to maximize crew efficiency. Ready your weapons.
Me has recordado al Subnautica. Pero del futurista, vamos, del espacio. Como te vas creando tu base y todo el rollo. ¿Conocéis ese juego? Yo lo he visto en algún streaming también. Y me moló, tío, me moló. Genesis Alpha 1.
Now, if you didn't catch the pre-show quiz, you might be wondering who my buddy is. Well, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Webster from Drake's Cakes, one of the PC gaming show's sponsors this year. And he's got a cool competition for you, the Drake's Cakes PAX giveaway. Oh yes, PAX is a gathering of PC and tabletop games, concerts, panels, exhibits and tournaments. It's like a 4-day LAN party, festival, workshop and concert rolled into one. The very lucky winner will enjoy a trip to PAX West, including 2 tickets and a free trip to Seattle. So if that's you, hit me up on those dates, because I am free. Webster, my man, this is very generous of you indeed.
Está libre.
And by entry,
La
guys, you
presentadora.
will get a discount code to get your hands
Ya sabéis,
on
chicos.
delicious Drake's Cakes available on Amazon.
Imprimid vuestros
And if you're at
billetes
E3 itself,
y corred a Los
don't forget,
Ángeles.
You can meet Webster in person at the E3 Concourse Walkway, where he'll be giving away Drake's swag and tasty treats all week. So if you see him, give him a fist bump on my behalf. I'll take one now. Thank you very much, Webster. So if you have ever dreamt of spending a weekend knee-deep in one of Earth's best gaming festivals, visit pcgamer.com/Drake's Cakes and enter now for a chance to win and hang out with Webster. All right, Webster, all this hosting has got me a bit peckish. How about we look at a trailer for the next edition of Clay Entertainment's beloved survival series, Don't Starve, Hamlet.
Este es el Stardew Valley, ¿no? Es un ganso, no un pato. Yo pensaba que eran lo mismo. Like por el final inesperado. ¿Cómo va a estar libre con eso? Me veo. Lo que nos interesa es si está libre el pato. Ah, el Don't Starve. Yo creo que le llama Stardew Valley. Don't Starve. Qué mal estoy hoy ya.
And they have a brand new engine to bring the level of delicious insanity one notch up.
Me voy a coger un hielo, que esto está más caliente. Oh, el Just Cause 4. El Just Cause 4. Rápido, Ciaz, corre. No jodas, gemido en el mejor momento.
De
todas formas es que de este me da un poco igual perderme un trailer porque es que ya he visto un par y me han encantado. Esta gente hace los trailers que te cagas de bien.
Talk to me about the tornado.
¿Secuela o DLC? ¿Es el 4? ¿Es secuela? ¿Es anterior al 3? Y esta conferencia dura 3 horas. ¿3 horas? Ríniga.
wreaking havoc and
it's not just like a background piece. It's
no,
actually impacting the world
this
before
is
you.
Just Cause, man. You go there, you play with it. Yeah.
You know, throughout the trailers that I've seen, it seems to be a lot of different environments that are available
Tres
throughout.
putas
Talk to me
horas.
about those.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most important things to us with this installment of Just Cause was bringing a lot more variety into the game, and that extends to a lot of things, but certainly the biomes of the game. So instead of one kind of region of, like, say, southern Italy, like we had last time, now you have lush rainforests, deserts, grassland, and even alpine biomes, all of which, you know, are rendered beautifully with the new Apex engine.
Now,
Ricas 3 horas.
to me is some of my favorite features from Just Cause 3. Can you talk to me about
No, en realidad cuando empiece la de Sony
es
la 1:15, falta 1:45 para la de Sony.
Everything you love from Just Cause 3 is back.
Good.
But everything is also just better. There's more to do, more to discover. For example, the grappling hook is completely customizable. The combat model has been completely reworked, redesigned, enhanced. So new weapon, new enemies, new AI. We've got extreme weather that interacts with grappling hook.
Rediseñado todo. Los enemigos, la IA, el tiempo, la dificultad, las físicas.
So nothing is just an effect. So if there is wind, it's physics and acts with your parachute, grappling hook, and the rest. Yeah.
Well, where can people go to get some, we'll call it first-hand footage of what Just Cause 4 can deliver?
They can check it out at justcause.com/E3 for 3 days.
That's right. Believe it or not, E3 hasn't started yet. Starts tomorrow, so June 12th through 14th. You can check it out. Thanks so much for joining us on
Y nada, la gente que esté allí lo va a poder probar.
Just Cause 4. Now, our next title is one of my all-time favorite IPs.
Me habéis hecho caso. Habéis cogido una almohada vosotros también.
The Walking Dead.
Overkill Software and
3 horas,
Starbreeze
pues no sé por qué
Payday
nunca ganan el E3.
Therefore, it
Me
goes
habéis alegrado.
without saying that these studios are some of the most talented makers of cooperative shooters, and their next one is set in a familiar but new apocalyptic Washington, D.C. Here's the
Nintendo
first
ganará.
gameplay
El
footage
E3
of
lo ha ganado
The
Ubisoft
Walking
con su
Dead,
circo,
and
muchacho.
keep your eyes peeled for the release date at the end.
Desde que se mató Paco, Ubisoft no tiene rival en el E3. Mira, parece que en vez de hacer yo el streaming lo está haciendo el micrófono, ¿a que sí? Y si me pongo los otros cascos, mira, ya verás, qué paranoia.
We were so many things. Husbands and wives, doctors and teachers, writers and architects. But when the
Queda
war
súper
ended,
raro, ¿a que sí?
all that ended too. Every day we fight for more than survival. We fight to build a new life. But together, we might stand a chance.
And I have more good news for fans of The Walking Dead. Overkill's game for The Walking Dead, of course, coming soon.
¿Qué pasa con The Walking Dead?
Completely different Walking Dead game that we're getting the chance to talk about right now. This is Telltale's The Walking Dead, the final season. Joining me on stage to talk about it is the lead writer, James Windler, and the voice of Clementine herself, Melissa Hutchison.
Sean,
Thanks for joining me on the stage.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. Now, I want to ask right away for, people who've played through the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, in terms of the gameplay, what's some of the familiar and what's some of the new?
Okay, so for people who don't know Telltale, we are a story-based company. We focus on narrative. We've had our roots in the old school point-and-click adventure games, but we've developed our own cinematic style and almost a signature mechanic, like our choice wheel.
Yeah.
And that's all familiar. That should, the choices branch the narrative.
Te digo yo que más de uno se queda dormido en el directo, tú.
Traditionally, like combat and action, we've done with QTEs and like swipes and button mashes and all of that. This year,
ahora que os vais a ir todos relajando y os vais a ir quedando así, pues eso, medio dormiditos, entrando en la famosa fase re, mesa, ahí Z. Pues ahora, así dentro de 5, 10, 15 minutos, voy a coger y voy a poner ahí alguna canción de hardcore o de algo de eso, pero al volumen al máximo, ¿sabes? Verás todos esos que se duerman, verás.
Yeah, because in the previous games it was much more of a directed camera from scene to scene, but now you can really sort of explore the environment on your own.
Absolutely, yeah, and yeah.
Now I want to ask about the story. I mean,
Envy trae el café. Si yo tengo Red Bull aquí, esto es Burn. No se ve. Bueno, el vaso.
Okay, so it starts. Clementine has been on the road for a long time.
Pero por mucho Burn es que la conferencia no acompaña.
She's been on the road. She's traveling with AJ.
Tía, hermosa danos aparato.
Who is the closest thing that she has to family. But they're reaching the end of it. They are like running out of steam on the road. It's like proving to be untenable. The final season, Clementine discovers
yo quiero chupito, creo que voy a ponerme a ver el directo en la cama. Bueno, yo ya te he avisado lo que puede pasar, ¿eh? Para despertar pon Blaze Out, que es la polla. Okay.
All kinds of challenges, yeah, like zombie threat all the time. Yeah, of course. And then there's always the external threat, like at some point they're going to be adults coming in.
Ahora no digan eso, yo acabo de beber un cubata y estoy con ganas de dormir. Y ahora recordé que luego viene la de Sony. Sí, tío, yo me eché un... Es ron con Burn. Lo que pasa es que ron le echo muy poco, porque no tengo ganas de beber. Es Burn, prácticamente, ¿sabes? Pero no. No, Ubisoft no party, ¿sabes? Joder, qué risas me he echado con los idiotas. Me cago en todo, macho. ¿Qué no se puede ser más personaje, tío? Se nos ha matado Paco.
Playing as Lee, it's your job to protect her, and then organically moving through all these seasons, and now you're playing as Clementine. I mean, really, this is a fan-driven game, so this final season is for the fans, and you're going to be playing as Clementine and protecting AJ, and this is just near and dear to my heart. And
I mean, how do you feel about the fact that this is the...
¿Qué estamos viendo? Se supone que yo estoy cubriendo esto, que me estoy enterando y os voy contando, pero no voy a engañar. Mi cerebro ha desconectado ya. Lleva un rato desconectado. Desde que se apagó la luz. Se desconectó la luz y se desconectó mi cerebro con la luz.
I'm really looking forward. Obviously, I'm surrounded by Telltale games, and I have no doubt that the writers and the creatives are going
to tequila para despertarte un poco. No.
Sad but happy.
¿Has escuchado la canción de Kojiman? Sí, la he escuchado varias veces, que parece como el opening de un anime de Kojima. Pues la hostia, tú. Luego si queréis la ponemos. Si queréis pongo luego, cuando la gente se vaya quedando dormida y eso, pongo la de Kojiman con el volumen al máximo, para que se despierte todo el mundo con Kojiman.
Thank you so much for joining me on stage today. Once again, that's thewalkingdeadgame.com, or you can find it on Steam as well. For our next title, Frankie, we're going to head back to you on the balcony.
Buenísimo, macho.
I got a treat for you. Coming straight out of Finland from Nolla Games, it's a magical action roguelike that asks, is that a wand in your pocket? Or are you just trying to kill me? Don't let the retro art style fool you. Noita is set in a procedurally generated world where every pixel is physically simulated. Let's take a look.
Pues me ha gustado. Me recuerda un montón a Terraria y a Starbound. Últimamente me gustan los juegos así, que se ven así, tío. El otro día estuve probando el Terraria de la Play, que tienes una demo gratuita para descargártela en la Store. Y básicamente es el juego completo, pero no puedes guardar partida. Cuando apagas la consola pierdes todo el progreso. Y pues estuve ahí, no sé si fueron 3 o 4 horas con el Terraria ese. Luego cuando terminé dije, joder, si lo sé hubiese hecho un stream. Pero es que yo pensaba ponerme 5 minutos.
How does one run a hospital in Two Point Hospital? Wait, oh my gosh, is the stethoscope eliminating your microphone? Oh, you know what? We do this every year. Come here, talk to me.
Okay.
How do we run a hospital?
So Two Point Hospital is a game about
Se ha escuchado ahí a los del control.
Your own hospital.
No habéis escuchado. No va el micro, no va el micro.
Yeah, you said don't talk there.
Yeah.
I got to look out here, you said.
Yeah, no, just look straight at the ground.
There's a lot of customization. Is this not working at all?
Yeah, it's great.
Doing great.
Carry on. I'll carry on then. Yeah, a lot of customization, a lot of interesting characters in our world, which with all these different characters, we had to come up with some really interesting illnesses and cures for them. And you have fun in Two Point County exploring different regions and curing people with different ailments. And as you can see on the screen, we've got... this is real. We actually researched this. It's a certain animal. And also you can train people. You can train your doctors to be better, your nurses to be better. Do research so you can unlock new wonderful cures.
Yeah. You know,
saying everything, isn't it?
Sorry, I didn't know if your mic was working. I was a bit backfilling. Carry on.
So,
Gotti, totalmente de acuerdo, Gotti.
What is the sort of late game sort of experience that you'll be playing through? Because this looks like it's quite deep into the running of a hospital.
Yeah, this is later on. So you start off and you're researching and you're training up staff, you're diagnosing illnesses, and you're hopefully curing them and making money, and then heading off.
I see this malady. Yeah, I see this malady called turtle head. Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
Yes. It's when the head becomes so shrunken, it gets stuck in the neck orifice, just pops out slightly.
Yes,
and it has to be extracted. And Mark, how's it get
well,
extracted?
This is something you've maybe we've all been there. I know. This is one where a little bit of suction always helps. And
and
it's gone.
And out it comes. Yeah. We had to research how to do that.
That's actually a real illness.
Yeah, it is. It's real.
England.
Now, I had to ask about something that I think every
Pero es un
young
hospital
man has to
troll,
deal with
¿o qué?
at some point. What is a monobrow infestation?
Yeah. Well, monobrow is
follically enhanced.
Yeah.
It's a problem. We've all been there.
Yeah. I haven't.
No. Okay.
But it needs to be diagnosed and cured pretty quickly. If it doesn't, it'll fester, and you might shed a bit of hair. And in fact,
it will actually leave the body, and it needs to be got rid of before the health inspectors arrive.
It looks like the monobrows are multiplying in the hospital.
They breed they're big breeders. The monobrows,
they like
monobeasts.
They like dirty places. Disgusting. So you've got to keep your hospital clean and well maintained.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to breed. You'll have a trouble.
I want to ask about sort of how the game evolves over time, because Theme Hospital was very mission-based. How does the experience of running a hospital change as the game goes on?
Yeah, so once you've started your first hospital, it's a pretty simple affair, and then you move on through Two Point County. There's different regions. There's a cold region. There's warm regions with contagious diseases. And there's
poor regions, there's rich regions.
Yeah. So we've got volcanoes.
Yeah. We've got all sorts of wonderful, weird effects can happen in different parts of the world.
So you might struggle to manage your hospital empire because a volcano went off nearby.
Yeah, it's about spinning plates, isn't it? You've got everything set up nicely, and then
something happens.
Thrown at you. So.
Well, I'd love to know more information about when Two Point Hospital is coming out.
Well, we're coming out fall. And you can check us out by going onto our Steam page and hopefully wish listing. Yeah. And we're coming later in the year.
We're told to say that.
No.
Well, I'm personally, again, really looking forward to it coming out. Thanks so much for joining me, Doctor and Doctor.
Thank you.
Talk about Two Point Hospital.
Pues yo que sé, se veía simpático, ¿no? Otro Battle Royale, bueno. ¿Cómo? ¿Un Battle Royale? ¿RPG de fantasía? Ah, de High-Res, de los de Paladin. Ah, es el Real Royale, ¿no? Este le quiero probar yo, tío. Este es el Matafornites. The Fortnite Killer.
Joining me to talk about Realm Royale is the executive producer
vamos a hacer un
at
directo.
Studios. It's
Un día de
Rory
estos.
Newbrough, aka Dry Bear, Mr. Dry Bear. What separates Realm
¿A
Royale
vosotros os mola?
from other types
A
of
Donin
battle
no.
royale games in the genre?
A mí me atrae, tío. Me recuerda a Blizzard. Me gustó. No sabía que era de High-Res.
How do these different classes work?
So the engineer will be more about bunkering down, putting up shields, putting down turrets. The assassin will get behind the lines using stealth, use a sniper rifle to take out targets. And the warrior will just jump in there throwing axes and being crazy.
And, you know, in some of the streams that I've watched, it also seemed like there were abilities, not just the loot and find stuff. Can you talk to me about how the ability mechanics work?
Once you choose a class, it'll come with a set of abilities, and you'll actually be upgrading these during the match, but it specifies your play style. And so as you're looting, abilities as well as armor and weapons will come out of the chest.
Okay.
You'll start equipping that and determining the play style you want, and so you can just really specify.
And, you know, you mentioned this a little bit, seen it on stream. Talk to me about crafting in the game. I mean, how does crafting work in a game where there's a constantly shrinking play circle?
We're really excited about this. So strewn across the map.
Pues yo no lo he probado, pero este quiero hacer directo. Y quería jugarlo con vosotros también, si os animabais. En sí es un Battle Royale. No tiene construcción como el Fortnite. Tienes esto de craftearte cosas, tú puedes craftear armaduras, habilidades tienes y tienes clases. Puedes elegir clase. Y me recuerda un montón a Blizzard.
E3 exclusive.
That's right. So free on Steam. We're actually out for less than a week now, and we were already number 4 on Steam charts. And this week at E3, through Mixer, if you stream on Mixer and you're playing, the streamer that gets closest to the Crown Royale will enter into the hype zone, and so everyone will see you on. You'll be featured on the main page of Mixer, and you'll have a chance to win the Jailbird chicken skin, which is our first piece of cosmetic. It's a little chicken with.
No seáis haters del PC Gaming. Yo entiendo que os aburra y tal, ¿sabes? Pero porque está enfocada distinta, tíos. El resto de conferencias están enfocadas a vender, a vender, a vender. Y no a engañarte, pero sí a decirte verdades a medias. Incluso hasta tomarte un poco por tonto a veces. Te tratan como un niño. El PC Gaming, como dice Kerberos, pues no trata de ganar gente. Yo creo que te tratan más adultos. Intenta mostrar juegos, intenta hablarte, intenta informarte. No venderte, informarte. ¿Sabes? Y por eso a todo el mundo le parece más aburrido. Claro, el circo de Ubisoft que te intentaba vender ahí todas las motos, pues hombre, pues ha sido el cachondeo padre. Pero no sé. Vamos, ser haters de lo que os dé la gana. A mí me la pelas. Esto es un chat libre. Pero que vamos, que esto va a ser así siempre. Y aunque a vosotros penséis que a quién coño le puede gustar esto, creedme que hay mucha gente que le gusta, o sea... Hay 236.000 personas viendo esto. Lo que no puedes hacer, PC Gaming Show, es que estemos aquí defendiéndote y me pongas esto, tío. Entonces... O sea, me deja... Todo lo que he dicho, toda mi palabra queda en evidencia. ¿Sabes? No puedes. No podés. PC Gaming, no podés. No podés estar aquí yo defendiéndote con Kerberos y ponerme un juego de drogas. No podés. No podés. A mí me gusta mucho. Sí que el ritmo es distinto. A veces te duermes un poco. Pero a mí me gusta mucho. Pues yo no sé qué es eso de Mount and Blade. Mira, un exclusivo de Microsoft.
Now, it wouldn't
Claro, el PC Gaming explica datos en publicidad, da más preferencia a los indies. Yo creo que la diferencia más básica es esa. Las conferencias normalmente te intentan vender. Esta no, esta te intenta informar. Y por eso se hace tan... ¡Oh! ¿Qué es esto? El micro. Ya está, ya pasó, guapo. No llores, no llores. Cuéntamelo todo. Yo te quiero. De Ubisoft ponía, ¿no? Se parece un montón al Assassin de Londres, tío. Ah, es uno de estos de barcos, ¿no? De Total War o algo de eso. ¿Ano? ¿Ano 1800? Oh, no había un juego que se llamaba Ano. ¿Lo llegaron a enseñar al final? ¿Salió? ¿Ano? Es verdad, el año pasado en el E3 había uno que se llamaba Ano. Ya hay dos Ano. Ano y Ano 1800. Muy buenas, Dasron. O gente 1800, básicamente. The Ano series.
Yeah, well, Anno 1800 is a PC only real-time strategy game, and it's kind of mixing.
Llego justo con el Ano, así es, llegas en buen momento.
Economic simulation and naval warfare.
Premio a mejor nombre tú, de todos los juegos del E3.
So you have a vast amount of freedom.
¿Qué rollo Age of Empires? Estrategia.
Explore the world and build huge cities.
And I wonder if you could talk to me a little bit about why the choice of the 19th century for this game.
Well, the 19th century it's such an interesting and rich era. There was so much happening in this era. Yeah. So we had two industrial revolutions. We had major.
Y está argumentando por qué han elegido esa época, que a él le parecía muy interesante. El siglo XIX.
And also the creation of the big imperial empires. So it's a really rich era.
And what are some of the elements that we'll get to see from the 19th century in Anno 1800?
So it's kind of for the player. It's well, basically you start with the first.
Hay más de un Ano. Está Ano Online, Ano 1404, Ano 2205, Ano NDS y ahora Ano 1800. ¿Es Civilization? Ano. Maldito güey. Ese chiste está a la altura de los de Digifile. Le ha tenido que gustar.
So last year at Gamescom, when we actually revealed
Qué malo,
the game,
por favor.
we decided on, you know what, it's pre-alpha, revealed the game. We invited the community to basically become a member of our development team. So we launched our Anno Union platform. It's a place where we give constant weekly updates on the current development and invite players to give feedback. And
a mí tampoco me disgusta, yo es que nunca he sido muy de juegos de estrategia, pero se ve muy bien. Supongo que a los fans de estrategia os molará. Yo el último que jugué de estrategia fue el Empire Earth, se llamaba. La polla ese juego. Digifil estaría orgulloso, ¿verdad que sí? Momento de chistes malos. No, por favor, es muy tarde.
Based on feedback, we said like, okay, that really seems to work. Players like that, so okay, let's do it like improve the quality a little bit even more.
Yeah.
But they can also vote on actual game content. So we had a big vote for an AI opponent in the game, for a community creation contest where they could create their own island and stuff like that.
And I understand that some of this footage is pieces that people can go to anno-union.com and vote on right now.
Exactly. So right, just in time for E3. You can go to
ya estoy como los niños pequeños, que me molesta hasta que me miren.
App where you can vote on one of 5 ships in the game, and that's only the first stage, because in the second stage we will allow you to design your own ship variant.
Joder, sí que es malo David Libro. De ese Digifile no estaría orgulloso. Ya te lo digo. Hay que mantener unos estándares de calidad, aunque sean chistes malos. ¿Sabes?
It's basically our big community platform, and we want to invite especially strategy gamers, PC players out there to come help us developing the game, sharing.
Lo siento, ya no lo haré más.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me on stage to talk about Anno 1800. Our next title is the
Madre mía, yo creo que voy a minimizar el chat.
Frankie is going to be talking about it.
Me están dando ganas de irme a llorar, de leeros. No pienso leeros en voz alta.
Build is known for discovering distinctive indie developers and bringing their quirky ideas to the fore, with Cluster Truck, Speedrunners, and Hello Neighbor among their catalogue of hits. And now I'm delighted to be able to bring you an exclusive reveal of a game developed by Galvanic Games in cooperation with Explosion. Inspired by the Cyanide and Happiness webcomic, Rapture Rejects is Battle Royale as you've never seen one before, ladies and gentlemen.
Una chupita por cada chiste malo, una chupita.
Isometric, cartoony, and basically bonkers. Let's take a look at what happens when the man upstairs makes an epic fail and only beams up the bad people.
La verdad que si vaya chistes de mierda sacados del ano. ¿Hijo de Wolf Among Us? ¿O Battle Royale? No sé, yo estaba ahí con los chistes y no... Oh, este es el de... El mundo que solo existen hombres. Lisa, ¿no? Se llama. Se parece un montón. Lisa, ese es un indie que yo lo he visto y tiene que ser la hostia, tío. Vi un vídeo muy bueno de un canal de YouTube, Pazos, seguro que alguno le conocéis, Pazos64. Pues el juego se llama Lisa. Bueno. ¿De Pazos era el vídeo? Igual era de otro. No, creo que era de otro. Era de otro, no era del Pazos. No me acuerdo de quién era el vídeo. O lo mismo hay dos. No lo sé. Pues se parecía al de Lisa, pero no creo, ¿no? Era un juego posapocalíptico que no había mujeres, solo había hombres. Y el protagonista se encontraba una niña y bueno, pues ahí empezaba la...
Thanks, bro.
Pero es otro Battle Royale. No, no.
Smell you later, you old
RaptureRegets.com.
I can't believe we got to show that trailer.
Sí, ¿no?
So great.
Bueno, era graciosillo por lo menos.
Our final game that we will be showcasing this evening is from perhaps the most famous stealth action franchise in gaming, the Hitman series. Let's take a look at a brand new trailer from Hitman 2.
Ah, mira, el nuevo Hitman. Más conocido como 1000 maneras de hacer una misión.
Welcome to Miami, 47. The innovation race is on its last day, and it is down to the wire. The Providence defectors are Robert and Sierra Knox. A day of high-octane thrills and two very public targets.
La verdad que el trailer está bien hecho, tío. Te dan ganas de jugarlo, ¿verdad? Ya veis que estos juegos siempre me han llamado, tío. Pero 60 pavazos para luego no saber si me va a gustar o no. Me parecen súper caros. Encima yo no lo voy a rejugar. Yo me lo voy a pasar una vez y como sea ha sido, ¿sabes? A lo mejor dos.
Jacob Mickelson, join me up here, Jacob. Come on out, we gotta talk. Assassination. Hey, Sean. Welcome, Jacob. Thanks for joining me. I mean, right away, tell me, what is Agent 47 doing in Miami?
Well,
he's there to pay a visit to Sharon Robert Knox, who are part of the Kronstadt Empire, and we all know.
Te lo compro, tía. ¿El Hitman? No, gracias.
Well, given that it's a Hitman
Gracias,
game,
coño.
I have some hints. And, you know, I always felt like in the Hitman games, the environment was so critical, trying to study and trying to understand it. What are some of the elements in
Hitman en real life, de la derecha, ¿no?
Well, absolutely. Miami is, I think it's one of the
Le ha adelgazado y ha crecido barba.
in the game, and in Miami we have, of course, the race as the centerpiece.
Yeah.
But being this super
Ya conozco esa página, pero eso no me mola para streamear, tío. Me parece un poco, ¿no? No sé.
Of course, we also have that in Miami. So pits and paddocks, there's an emergency room, and so on. So all the facilities needed in order for you to kind of make your own way through the mission and take advantage of the locations and all the different disguises and items you stumble upon as you move in closer to your targets.
And in terms of mechanics, I know that there's going to be a lot of the familiar feels, but what are some of the brand new mechanics?
Pues alguna vez he hecho algún directo de algún juego pirata, probándolo y eso. Pero nunca he querido jugarlo entero. Digo, bueno, si lo quiero jugar entero ya me lo compraré. Porque es como muy... es el colmo de lo ilegal, ¿no? No es ilegal, es alegal, pero... porque no pueden demostrarlo, a no ser que yo diga qué tal. Pero... es muy cara dura, ¿no? No sé. Pues el Final Fantasy XV me acuerdo que dije, lo voy a probar. Y lo probé, estuvimos haciendo un directo de un par de horas. Me moló, además, me moló un montón. Y dije, este juego me lo tengo que pasar algún día. Algún día me lo tengo que comprar con un ordenador que lo mueva ahí en la máxima calidad y pasármelo entero. Y comprado. ¿Qué le pasa a la conferencia, al directo, a mi internet, a la vida? ¿Qué le pasa?
We have the fan favorite, which is the sniper briefcase is back, but this time it's not only for sniper rifles. It's also for all the other things you want to carry around, kind of.
Verdad, es que es como muy descarado, muy cara dura, no sé. Para probarlos ya en sí a veces me da hasta un poco de vergüenza porque me queda como remordimiento en plan de joder. Estoy haciendo un directo de un juego que no he comprado, es pirata. Pero bueno, pues yo qué sé. Yo qué sé.
And then of course you just saw it in the kitchen as a frying pan, so we all know the kitchen is the most dangerous house room in your house, right?
Yeah, of course.
Also counts in Hitman.
También te digo que si hubiese una demo del Final Fantasy XV no me hubiese hecho falta descargármelo pirata. ¿Te pasó lo mismo a ti con el Final XV? Es curioso. Ya, pero las páginas rollo Instant Gaming y todo eso, yo creo que esas páginas para los desarrolladores de los videojuegos son lo peor. Yo creo que está perdiendo dinero la gente que hace videojuegos con esas páginas. Por eso son tan baratos. Porque ahí hay un cachondeo, por lo visto, que no es ni medio normal. Habrá de todo, ¿sabes? Habrá keys legales y keys ilegales y keys robadas y keys desaparecidas. Habrá de todo. Pero no me mola, no me mola. Luego otra cosa que me fijé, cuando te quieres comprar un juego de lanzamiento en todas esas páginas, casi nunca funcionan, ellos nunca se hacen responsables. No me gustó, no me convenció.
For the first time ever, vaguely nearby me, it's the co-host Frankie. Come here, Frankie.
They let me come down from the balcony for good behavior.
Excellent.
Que se jodan las compañías de videojuegos, que muchas de ellas venden juegos incompletos o con demasiados fallos. Y cuando los acaban de sacar, sacan las segundas partes sin acabar, así todo el rato. Eso me suena al The Division, al Destiny, al Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Esa historia me suena, Alejandro.
And of course, this year we're curating even more great PC games from the Facebook booth in E3 South Hall. Last, and of course not least, a huge thank you to all our wonderful sponsors who let the PC Gaming Show come back for a fourth straight year. They are Hi-Res Studios, Digital Extremes, Archangel Hellfire, Team 17, Stardock Entertainment, Acer, Predator, Improbable, Oculus Rift, Drake's Cakes, Tripwire, Frontier Developments, and Square Enix. We hope you have a wonderful E3 and go play some damn video games. Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh, ya está.
Welcome back to E3 on Twitch. That was the PC Gaming Show. Thank you, Day9 and Frankie, for taking us through a lot of games for PC. We're going to talk about our favorite.
Pues ya está el PC Gaming. No dura 3 horas al final. Se ha terminado ya.
We've got a few minutes to chat about it.